Got it up. That was quick and easy. So this is just going to be a pretty short showcase of a deck that I came up with recently that I had a lot of fun with. I could record it as a video, but I figured that it would be more interesting to actually show off my live reaction to it and how to play it. It's a little bit easier to do it with live streaming. So my setup definitely makes it really easy for me to do it this way. Actually, if you're wondering why I'm not actually making a bunch of like normal videos, they're just live things that you can then watch on YouTube as normal videos. It's just because I can do this really easily right now with my current setup, but making videos is a little bit more difficult right now. So I still am playing, and I want to share with you guys the cool stuff that I've been finding in the game. This is just the best way for me to do that. So yeah, anyways, so the whole idea with this deck is to use all of the new cards that we have with extra swaps, with the exception of Alchemist's Gambit. So we have so many cards in Standard right now that give us bonus swaps that it is just kind of ridiculous. And it's going to be this way for quite a while as well. It's not like, you know, this is a temporary occurrence. Oh yeah, I suppose that I can be visible too. That's a thing. That's my monitor though. That's not like me. Yeah, there we are. There I am. Hello. Yeah, so with the introduction of the Puzzle Master set, we got both Paradox Haze and Time Walk, both of which are going to give you a bonus swap every single turn. So between Paradox Haze and Time Walk PMA, you're going to be getting 3 swaps per turn. And then if we also throw in like Alrund's Epiphany and Temporal Mastery, then you're going to be getting way more swaps. Now, just as a general quick PSA, like, should you be prioritizing picking up all of the cards with extra swaps, like Paradox Haze and Time Walk PMA, over the seed gems that are ultimately going to be coming out with green? I can't say that I think you should be getting them over the seed gem stuff, but I also can't say when the seed gem stuff is going to come out. So I'll leave that up to you. But you can do some pretty wacky stuff with this. Hey, Gauze, it's good to see you tonight. How are you, buddy? It's been a little while. So the deck that I'm going to be using tonight that I really wanted to show you all is sort of a version of that deck that I suggested for a Timeless Voyage. It's going to be using New Teferi. I honestly have just been finding that the more that I play right now, like the more that I find myself gravitating back to Teferi Chronoclast. It's just such a powerful planeswalker. And then the idea here is that with Paradox Haze, Alrund's Epiphany, Time Walk, Magosea the Water Veil, and Temporal Mastery, we can get a ton of extra swaps. Now, there's a way of doing this in Legacy that's even more absurd, where you run Wizard class and you run Song of Creation with the Alrund's Epiphany, the Temporal Mastery, and then Stitch in Time. But that turns you into this loop that's just going to make you want to quit the game, because you can have like over 100 swaps on your turn, and then when you've got like gain over 100 swaps and you hit the loop timer, you still have to make your swaps. So it gets pretty terrible. So yeah, everything's going great right now, guys. Actually, I know I've been playing a lot of Pokemon lately, but yeah, I've been actually like really enjoying this low-key thing. I'm taking a break from coalition events as a member of like a normal player in a coalition, in order to just focus on like deck experimentation. So like being able to go Pauper in last week's Timeless Voyage and have that deck go perfect for the matches that I played with it. I only played one of them on stream, but I played more matches later. It was just really cool to see. So, all right, yes, the rest of the deck. I should explain myself, right? So you want to have as much card draw as possible if you're just going to be going with a bunch of extra swaps. So I'm running Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, because I run this in basically everything, because I am a terrible human being. I've got Seagate Restoration, because this is going to give us some more blue gem conversion, and it draws cards. I've got Hullbreaker Horror, because this thing's removal is just wildly unfair and unreasonable. Dragon Turtle, because once again, for control, this card is just absolutely amazing. I would strongly advise using this card in blue, like pretty much any blue deck. I feel like the lockdown from that is just too good to pass up. And then the last card is Spoils of Adventure, because this one's going to draw you cards and gain life, meaning that, at least for this deck, which I'm playing in the training grounds here, you're going to be able to just play it like over and over and over again, just because you don't have to worry about your life total, which is always really, really nice. Like, I hate having to like fuss about my life total. So here as a starting hand, this is pretty bad. You're going to see me actually try and play 2 Time Walks here, so I want to go over that. Time Walk, as you can see, only has 2 shields, and so I find that, especially since you're doing the whole mana field thing, sometimes you have to match the support itself. So Time Walk actually gets destroyed pretty quickly. So whenever you have a chance to play multiple Time Walks, it's generally going to be good for you to play the multiple Time Walks. So as for my swap, I could take this green into red swap here, which would be good in that it's going to prevent 2 positive mana bonuses for Garruk. So if I don't take that swap, then I know that Garruk is going to be getting at least 12 mana on his turn. Whereas if I take this green into white match, I'm only going to be getting 9 mana, right? 6 from white, 3 from green. But I still like the idea of taking this green into white, because otherwise Garruk is going to take it. And red is Teferi's -3, so it's going to give me nothing. So this is still going to be better mana for me to take this match, and I could get a Cascade out of it. So I don't get a Cascade. Garruk gets his match, which is totally fine. But it still was definitely going to be in my best interest to play it out that way. So now that I've got a Hullbreaker Horror, I definitely want to try and prioritize getting that thing out on the battlefield, because the control that you get from the Hullbreaker Horror is very real and very, very good. So I'm going to get out my Time Walk. My opponent is going to let me take a free extra swap on my turn, which is really nice. Except then they destroy my support, like something that's not nice. So it's just how they want to play right now, which is fine. So I'm going to have to play another Time Walk. So I'm going to move Hullbreaker Horror back up, though. I definitely want the Hullbreaker Horror to be first here. So, all right. So now what we're going to do, for those of you that are new, right? When I say new, I mean you're just joining. It's a deck that's based around a bunch of extra swaps. Also, I'm curious, why is Blex hitting me? So, if not invoked, at the end of your turn, your opponent loses life. Interesting. I must have missed that particular calling card for Blex. That's going to be quite annoying for this match. Especially as it's going to take me a little bit to be able to get to a point where I'm going to be able to do anything about that here. So, you'll see that there are a bunch of deny gems out. I definitely want to take advantage of those deny gems. So, I'm going to do that. And then also, because I'm playing Teferi, it's obviously in my best interest to make blue matches as well. Unfortunately, it does mean that Garruk is going to get a whole bunch of matches, because Garruk is playing some kind of weird conversion deck that doesn't seem to have any purpose to it. So the pests are obviously a problem. So I need to be able to start playing spells. So we want to be able to stay alive. We're definitely going to get some gem conversion here, though, which is good. And we got a 5er here, which is also really nice. So when I say a 5er, I mean a 5 match. And so being able to get the extra swaps here is also going to be nice. So we've now got 2 extra swaps, which is good. And then this means we're going to be getting even more mana. And every time we play a spell because of the Hullbreaker now, we're going to be bouncing stuff for my opponent. So we got rid of Blex, which is good. I definitely do not want Blex on the battlefield. That card is a righteous pain in the butt. So here I'm actually going to try and get another Time Walk down, because that's going to get me more time bubbles, which is good, and it's also going to get me more extra swaps. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get the Time Walk, and then for my last swap here, I think my best interest is going to be to take the green away from Garruk, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Now this is actually a fairly okay position. It's not great, because you'll see that Garruk has his second ability here, so I obviously don't like Garruk having his second ability at his disposal, but beyond that, it's actually kind of okay. So here, I'm actually going to go ahead and take this swap over here. You'll see right here I've got the Time Walk, so while this is definitely going to be better mana for me, this ensures that I get a free extra swap. So I want the free extra swap, and I obviously want this white Cascade that's going to be happening over here as well. White Cascades are quite good for me, and so I'm actually just going to keep using my first ability, because it's going to convert more gems to blue, and it's going to give me an opportunity to deny a bunch of gems as well, which I really like. So, all right, this is good. We're just going to keep getting rid of my opponent's stuff here. So my opponent is actually going to, I think, probably wind up losing the wolf tokens here, is my guess. Yeah, so the Hullbreaker Horror is going to bounce them. And so Garrick is totally free to keep playing those, as someone is calling me. So I forgot to put myself in focus mode. I have no idea who that even was either. I find that, like, I very rarely get spam calls anymore. I don't know if you guys get a lot of them or not, but I really don't get that many. Oh, Temporal Mastery. This is perfect. We definitely want Temporal Mastery. That card is busted. Part of, by the way, like, what spawned me wanting to try this out was me pulling Temporal Mastery, just because it's actually such a good card. And you'll see right there that we're already at 2 bonus swaps, which is just absurd. And then the Temporal Mastery is going to get us another swap right here. We're going to keep destroying my opponent's mana bonuses as well, which is really, really good. And then not only are we just going to keep getting more and more bonus swaps and destroying our opponent's stuff, but we're going to get a whole bunch of Time Bubble gems down, which is really good. So my opponent has cards in hand right now with mana. And so the more of these Time Bubble gems that we get down, the more susceptible my opponent is going to be to losing those cards, which is obviously a huge boon to the deck. So the last real piece that I want to get going here is probably going to be some gem conversion. So I want the Seagate Restoration here. I get Paradox Haze, which is great. I didn't have that one yet. And of course, I've got even more matches. So this is just so ridiculous. I'm telling you guys, if you have the cards to make this deck, you absolutely should. Here I'm making that match specifically because pretty much everything else has a Time Bubble gem on it. So here Garrick is going to be forced to discard all of his cards with mana, which is just absolutely savage. And then while I could use my second ability here, just to try and get some more stuff cooking, for gem conversion, I'm not going to bother. I just want to get as many of these Time Bubbles down as possible. The extra Time Bubble deny gems that you get from Time Walk as well is just absurd. Like, the level of lockdown that you get with this deck is just silly. It's just silly. That's all I can say. But yeah, I'm curious. So, some of you all who are here tonight, what are some of the things that you've been playing around with lately? What is the stuff that you've had fun with? It's always cool to hear what other people are playing with. Because, at least for me, it gives me ideas for some other things that I should try for myself. And see if there's things that maybe I just missed in the game, as Garrick is just hemorrhaging cards here. This is so unfortunate for him. Like, seriously, with Teferi, once you get this first ability stacked up, it's just unfair. Because, like, here's the thing, right, with Teferi, is that you make the cards in your opponent's hand cost so much mana, that there's just really nothing your opponent can do, which is just unfortunate. Like, seriously, it's pretty terrible for them. Did I use my first ability already? I did. Okay, so I'm gonna take this because this is gonna be a double match right here, and it's gonna give me 3 more of these Time Bubbles, which is obviously not something that I actively need, but it's something that I actively wanted. So, yeah. All Savior Grandmaster Flowers. Savior of Olenbach? Is that what you're using, Gus? Is Savior of Olenbach? I think this is Time Walk. Yeah, this is Time Walk. So let's just get a bunch of extra swaps here. Let's get the swaps. We want the swaps. So we're going to use Alrens. This is going to give us a swap. And then the Time Walk is also going to give us a swap, so we should have 2 of them right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my ability, and here I actually just want mana, so I'm actually gonna use anti-clockwise here, just because. Oh man, this is gonna give me so much mana, and it just does terrible things to Garrick. Oh, poor soul. All right, this is gonna let me play all 3 of my critters in my hand. Oh man, this is I'm telling you guys, this is so busted. Guardian of Faith and Faith Bond Judge. You know, I have you tried that with a Johnny, Goss? Have you new a Johnny, the Savior, and that basically that deck, but with new a Johnny, would very strongly be my suggestion. So here, actually, having all of these deny gems doesn't do very much for me, because Garrick doesn't have any cards with mana in his hand right now. So even if I leave them there, it's not actually going to do anything. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pop those there. And I've still got another swap. Oh, Judas Priest. This is wrong, guys. I'm telling you. This is super wrong. Did I use Teferi yet? I did. Do I have any more blue matches? Of course I do, because this deck is stupid. All right, let's get another Temporal Mastery for another free turn. And then you know, I think I'm just gonna take the green matches away from Garrick, because I think that's what Garrick's gonna want. And then we'll just call it the end of Garrick next turn, I think. Yeah, it's the end of Gary next turn. Okay, so here I'm gonna try not. Oh, great! I'm gonna try not to trigger my extra swaps, just because Garrick is definitely dead here. So there's no reason to prolong the inevitable. But honestly, the level of control that you get with this deck, like once you just get it set up, is absurd. And the loyalty that you get, right? Because the thing about making extra swaps is you're not just getting extra mana, you're getting extra loyalty as well. So by doing this, you're just getting like a ton. So we have a new person who just said nice to meet you, and it's fantastic to meet you as well. How is your name pronounced? Hamajama, you're in my Discord. I know you. It's always fun to run into someone that you know when you're playing. And then this is just absolute butts. Temporal Mastery, Paradox Haze, and Time Walk. Temporal Mastery, Paradox Haze, and the Dragon Turtle. This is very fortunate for me, very unfortunate for my opponent. So here I'm just going to go ahead, play the Temporal Mastery, just because I know it's going to get me an extra swap, which is extra loyalty. And then I'm going to start trying to push the... Oh, yeah. So the thing, right? Yeah, okay. So using Tamio for the extra turns. Not the extra mana. So it's not about, like, that. It was more that the Savior of Olenbach with new Ajani is one of my favorite forms of control in the game right now, just because Ajani guarantees, basically, that you're going to... be able to have the Savior exile something every single turn. Like, you're likely going to be able to do it with other walkers, but like I feel like it's basically guaranteed with the Johnny, because of the extra tokens that you're generating every turn, so to increase the power of that token stack by 2. So here we've already got our basic engine set up, so my opponent is pretty well and fully doomed here, especially because my opponent's playing green. Like, the only thing that Ren is going to be able to do about this is use the Great Aurora, and you would be surprised at how few people use the Great Aurora in their green decks right now. So a lot more people should definitely be using the Great Aurora in their green decks. So here's the thing about Paradox Haze, right? Like, you have to actually make the match, right? So it's when you match them by swap for the first time. So I definitely need to make a swap first. So I definitely want to make that swap. So I'm going to make the swap. This swap ensures that I'm going to get an extra turn. By extra turn, I just mean an extra swap. Now I'm going to get my dragon down. As bath time is starting for my kids, which is the yelling that you can hear. They're very good at yelling. And then I'm going to get at the time walk over here as well. So this is just going to ensure that I'm going to be able to deny all the gems, and that I'm going to be able to get all the turns, especially as my opponent is choosing not to destroy my supports. So, ooh, this is beautiful. All right, so we're going to get our dragon, not dragon. Yeah, we're going to get our dragon down here. We're going to go for this swap here, because it gives us 2 extra swaps. One for Paradox Haze, one for Time Walk. And then actually a low-key thing about both Paradox Haze and Time Walk that's entirely crazy is that because the deny gems are improved gems, and there has to be, as we get a third extra swap, there has to be a blue gem on the board in order for you to be able to deny a gem. You're going to find that you're actually converting just oodles of gems because like you have to have a target, right? You have to have a blue gem target. So not only are you getting extra swaps for all of this absolute foolish nonsense, but you're also going to be getting just a ton of mana here. So I got another Temporal Mastery, and I got another Time Walk. So as you guys know, you definitely want to make sure that you're getting subsequent copies of Time Walk down. Oh, you're actually here tonight too, Tamajama. You do have Great Aurora in the deck. Yeah, I also don't think it's gonna make its way out. This deck is just so stupid. Like, I'm really sorry that I'm showcasing this, because I feel like every time I showcase a new deck, I wind up seeing that deck for like a few days after I showcase it. Because, you know, not everyone is watching the stream, and you know, like, not everyone watches my videos, but I do find that there's actually like a fairly reasonable chunk of the player base that ultimately does watch my videos. So I wind up seeing it within a week of my putting the video out there. So here we've got a 5 swap here. Look at this. This is crazy, right? This 5 swap is on Time Walk, so that's actually going to be 3 swaps, because the Paradox Haze and the Time Walk and the 5 swap means that we get 3 extra swaps for making that match right there. So what I'm going to do is I actually want to draw all the cards I can. So I'm actually going to throw away a bunch of things so I can draw as much as I can here. And I'm also going to deny 5 gems, which is just wrong. Look at this. Look at this. It's like you're playing a green deck, except that your green stuff just entirely dismantles your opponent. It's just so silly. All right, we got a Teferi Hero of Dominaria, which is good. And I actually do want the Seagate Oracle to come down as well. So let's just put more Time Bubble gems down to be a good Samaritan here. That's absolutely what I'm gonna go ahead and call this. If I make see, I want this landfall here, but in doing it, I'll destroy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my bubble gems. What the heck? It's gonna drain all my opponent's mana from his hand. So it is fine. And then the Seagate Restoration is gonna come through. It gets me yet another bonus swap, so I'm absolutely gonna be taking that. And then, you know what? With what I have on the board, have I used that yet? I have used that yet. Okay, I've used that already this turn. That's fine. So we've still got a bunch of swaps. Here's another 5 match, so we've still got more swaps. Oh my gosh, guys. The extra swaps here are starting to get a little bit ridiculous. But that's just the nature of playing this deck. You just get all the swaps. Does a Johnny synergize with the Teferi Vanguard? Absolutely. Well, I mean, sort of. Not exactly. I said absolutely. That's wrong. It's not that a Johnny synergizes with the Teferi Vanguard. It's that Teferi Vanguard is good in any deck that it can be used in. There's really no deck with white that you don't want to use the Teferi Vanguard in, is the most basic way of putting it, just because the Teferi Vanguard serves as card draw, mana, and removal. It has everything that you want except for a way to kill your opponent. So, yeah, you definitely want to have the Teferi Vanguard in any deck that you can put it in, for sure. Like, no doubt. So here I'm going to make this blue match just to get extra swaps. And also because it's going to put 3 more Time Bubble gems on the battlefield. And unfortunately for Ren... Oh, my Paradox Haze got destroyed, as did my Time Walk. That's fine. That's not a big deal. My opponent can't play anything. Like, there's the thing. We've used Nope enough times that my opponent's not going to play anything. So, but yeah, anyways, it's not that a Johnny synergizes with Teferi. It's that Teferi is just such a good, like, Swiss Army knife that you can use it with literally everything. And it should be used with literally everything as well, for that matter. Like, Teferi is that good. So we're going to get our turtle down. We get another bonus swap, so okay, we'll get even more bonus swaps. I'm just going to go ahead and leave all these gems here and kill my opponent. And yeah, it's just... I'm sorry, Hamma Jamma. But on the plus side, it's just your doppelganger, so it's not like the worst thing that's ever happened, right? This is just so beautiful. Oh man, I get such a kick out of it, right? Like that's the thing. I don't know about you guys. Like for you guys, when you get, I'm looking this way instead of this way. Whatever, I should look this way. So I'm looking at you guys. My monitor where I can see you all chat is over there. But I'm curious, like for you guys, like do you guys get the giggles when you find something just wildly overpowered? Like right, so you're playing it and then you're just like, oh, this is nutty. Like for example, like when I first played Tainted Adversary, I laughed, and when I first played with Omniscience, I cackled. When I first played with Seed Gems, I just sat silently with my mouth open, like, what is this? So I'm just curious, like, what is your guys' reaction when you find something that's just completely and utterly broken? Oh, actually, this is good. Okay, so here, the obvious match here is this one here, right? To get this to come on down and to try and either get black, loyalty, blue, or red. But if I take this match right here, I'm actually guaranteed to get white and black. And Teferi likes both white and black, right? That's going to be a guaranteed 12 mana for me. So I definitely want to try and take that guaranteed 12 mana right there. So I'm going to go for actually Paradox Haze over Time Walk because Paradox Haze is a lot easier to use than Time Walk. You just need to make a blue swap as opposed to the mana field requirement. Welcome back, Gauze. So I definitely want to get Paradox Haze down first, but then I'm going to try and get Time Walk down second, because just all the denial, all the match is just going to be beautiful. Okay, yeah, you see, I got really lucky with Omniscience, so the very first time that I ever saw Omniscience in the vault, in an elite pack, I had 3 cracks at the pack, and this was actually before... fun story. This was before elite packs were guaranteed non-duplicate. So your 400 packs, 400 crystal packs did not used to be non-duplicate. For that matter, the very first elite pack I ever opened, I only had 1 card in the pack, and it was the white gatekeeper, whatever the heck it is, from the Cloudedish set. Yes, I pronounced it that way on purpose because I am a horrible human being. But anyways, I wound up getting a dupe of that 1 card that I had, and I actually almost quit the game right there because of how long it took. It used to take forever to get pink gems. And then I was like, no, I'm not a baby. I can suck it up and try at this again. Okay, so here we've got, we're going to get 2 bonus matches from the Time Walk. One from the Time Walk, one from the Paradox Haze. And you'll see... It's just going to convert a bunch of gems and give us a ton of mana and time bubble. This is so wrong. Like, man, maybe this is the way to go. Maybe getting these overseas gem things makes sense, because this is just not right in so many ways. Like, look at this. We're going to get 3 more time bubbles. Like, there's so many time bubble gems on the board right now. There goes your card, Sarkhan. You thought you could play something against me. Little did you know, you messed up. Just, oh boy. All right, yeah, we're going to get a free bonus swap over here from Time Walk. Convert 3 more gems here. During the Masterpiece bug, a couple. Oh my gosh. Do you remember when Hour of Devastation accidentally had, like, oops, like 10 times the drop rate? Like, you had like a 50% chance from a premium pack or from like a single pack or something like that to get a Masterpiece. It was beautiful. Yeah. I think everyone who had it did that. You know, like, I feel like for the holidays, honestly, I'm just going to be real here. I think that for the holidays, like, the holiday sale is cool and all, but I 100% think that they should just do that to the packs. Like, for the holidays, they should just make all the packs go, like, super crazy on the odds so that anyone who saves up for the holidays can just go completely ape nuts. Because it's not just that, like, you know, people would just save for that, because they would. You know, like, that would be great. People would save for it like they do for the Planeswalker sale. but would also be good for the company because, you know, people would be saving up for the Planeswalker sale, but then there would be all these packs that they would want. So if they actually bought stuff, like, they would buy that too. So it's not to say that, like, I think that everyone should spend money. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just saying that, like, I feel like that would be a win-win for both the company and the player base if they would actually do that for the holidays. But whatever. My ideas, they're not going to happen, so whatever. We're going to get more Time Bubble gems instead and play another Paradox Haze because I destroyed mine like a fool. As Brokon is going to lose even more stuff. Oh, man. You poor things. Yeah, like, I would think so. I would think it would promote having more players, honestly, Greg. Like, I think that would be good. Because, you know, like, the more people that are playing, the more fun the game is going to be, right? Like, I think, and I'm curious, like, for you guys too, please let me know, but I think that, like, there's a solid portion of the veteran player base that plays the game and continues to play the game because of their coalition. They play because of their community. Like, they're not playing because the game is, like, fresh or new. Like, they'll come back and they'll play different, you know, new sets when they come out because it's always really exciting to play with new cards. But the thing that keeps players coming back, you know, week after week to play the same coalition events with the same cards is their community. So the more players that there are playing the game, the better, by a darn mile, for that matter, too. Like, it's not like a small thing here. But whatever. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Like, if you're someone who's like, no, I just play because the game is amazing, then you're wrong, Nalthazar. Then, okay, cool. I don't mind being wrong on this. But at least for me, like, I know that it's a big deal to have, you know, my friends playing the game and to be playing with my friends in my coalition. And you know, like, it's just, there's this camaraderie of, like, oh, I've played with these guys for 2.5 years now. Like, I know many of them by name. I've got 3 extra swaps because this game is busted. That has nothing to do with this. It's just we're going to get 5 more time bubbles here. But, yeah. All right, time bubbles. Let's do it. So another thing that I'm curious about, because I'm asking a bunch of questions, and you know, I've got a pretty quiet group of peeps who are watching tonight, but I'm just curious. I have a lot of questions. So if you're watching this later, please leave a comment on the stream. That would be great. Not for YouTube's algorithm. YouTube's algorithm can go and piss off. But I'm just curious, legitimately, from like my own content creator standpoint. But I'm actually really interested in the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty set. In paper. I'm not sure what it will look like in Puzzle Quest, obviously, but at least the paper version of it really intrigues me a lot. So if you would be interested in seeing content, like paper content, instead of just Puzzle Quest content, and I'm not saying necessarily like Arena, or whatever it's called. Well, I think it's Arena, but like if you're actually interested in seeing like some paper content on the Neon Dynasty, please let me know, because it's something that I'm going to be messing around with for sure. And so if like you would watch, say, like if I was able to figure out how to play like a tournament at my house with it, right? And if I was able to like record it and you know, showcase it, and that's something that you'd be interested in, then I would totally do that. So, yeah. Now, I don't care about the algorithm, guys. Like, and you know it. Like we make content for a game that we enjoy. That's a really small game with a very small market. You know, so it's not like I'm gonna ever have a channel on Puzzle Quest that's gonna have like 100,000 subscribers. You know, I don't like Arena. I need to give it more of a chance, maybe. I think that might be it. I just maybe need to give it more of a chance. And maybe if I do, I will like it. I really didn't like it when I tried it, honestly. As for what Charles said about real PvP, I mean, we've sort of... Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Shay. 100%. But as for like real-time PvP, like we sort of have real-time PvP right now, but it's only within your own coalition. But here's the thing that I'm legitimately curious to see, like how it would play out as my son throws a fit. is maybe it's hair washing time. That would make really good sense. But like the thing about Puzzle Quest that I think attracts a lot of players is that it's easy. And when I say it's easy, I don't mean that like you're going to get perfect in every single event. I mean that the game is designed for the player to have this sense that they're playing against another player, but that they're going to win like close to 100% of the time, right? Like once you've established your collection, you're going to be winning 90 to 95% of the time. And there's this thing like, you know, like when people lose in events, they rage quit. Like they get really mad. And you know, like a lot of points lost are because of absolute baloney. Speaking of baloney, this would count as baloney, by the way. This deck absolutely counts as baloney. But like when people lose matches, they get mad. They don't. You probably aren't playing a game where you're like, oh yes, you know what I want to do today, guys? I want to lose. That would be amazing. And so with Puzzle Quest, like you win, right? And I think that really appeals to a lot of players. And so I noticed this for sure with players when PvP came out, is a lot of players gravitated away from PvP. And you know, some of them were because there's definitely it's harder to access because you have to do it within your coalition and other people have to be on. So it's really a small pool of players that you can actually play with. Because even in an active coalition, I mean, I maybe for you guys it's different, but it's rare that I see more than 4 or 5 players on at a time. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm not trying to be a grumpy goose. Like that's not it. It's just I think that one of the appeals to this game is that it's very accessible and you can just pick it up and win a match. No, you see, I think he's sick. I think my little guy is sick. He's had like a stuffy nose all day, which has been for a 2-year-old, heck on wheels. Let me tell you, goodness gracious. But then the other piece is that my wife has been out of town all weekend, and so she just got home as we counter all of Brocon's ability. Like, look at this. Look at how stupid this is. It's just, oh man, I would hate to play this. Like, I would legit hate. Geese are nasty creatures, guys. They're horrible. Like, geese are such jerks. Like, if you're going to mess with an animal, it had better not be a goose, because you're just going to have a bad time. Like, that's just that's just a fact. You don't have a good time by messing with geese. It just doesn't happen. No. Yeah, me too. I'm gonna try and get him COVID tested tomorrow to see if it's COVID. I don't think so. If it is, it's a really mild case. Like, he's just got a stuffy nose. But you know, like when you've got a stuffy nose, you've got a headache, and when you got a headache, you're grumpy and yada yada. And also, he didn't sleep very well over the weekend. He just was like missing mom. So it's the way of kids. But hi, Alexa. It's good to see you. I mean, I don't see you, but, you know, like the commentary, I see you, you know? I don't like geese, but my dislike of geese is very different from, I think, like most people who have had bad experience with geese's dislike of geese. My dislike of geese is that there's this big pond near where I live that has a bunch of geese, and they just poop everywhere, and they have massive poops. It's like, it's way worse than dog poop. I mean, it's just insane, but whatever. So here's a tricky one, right? I've got this match right here, which is going to be white into black, because these 3 are going to drop down. And since this is the 3rd, right, it's going to be right here. So I'll get white and black, which we already know is 12 mana. And then on top of that, because this row here is going to be coming down, it's possible that it will also get me blue. I'm going to be taking this match because I don't want Koth to have a red match, right? And by me taking this, it guarantees, it guarantees that there's going to be nothing available on the match for Koth. Maybe the gems will fall and give Koth a match, but I'd much rather lower the chance of Koth getting a red match. As you see right there, Koth doesn't get red, so we're good. And then Koth was kind enough to leave me this match anyway. So even though I could take this match here, that match isn't going to give me jack squat. So I'm going to do this, and yep, there you go. And I get the blue one, as you saw, as I was talking about right there from the get-go. So hopefully Koth doesn't take this one, as he doesn't, which is perfect. Koth plays the Flame Skull, which is great because I can actually kill this thing, and it's disabled, so nothing bad is going to come of that. And so one of the really cool things here is actually going to be to see what happens when we play against the best planeswalker in the game for mana generation against this particularly nasty deck, right? Like what's going to happen here? So we're gonna go ahead and improve 3 more gems, which is great. Koth, by the way, hates this Teferi because Koth's first ability winds up becoming terrible for him because he destroys all of the gems, and destroying all of the gems becomes not a good thing. I know I'm destroying my own Time Walk here, but I'm getting a bonus turn out of it, and I've got a fantastic match out of it as well right here. So it's actually in my best interest to destroy my Time Walk. Just in case you're wondering, like, dude, what are you doing? It's okay. I've also got the Dragon Tortoise over here as my opponent loses his card. Goodbye, Koth. Oh, he gets another card, the Gatekeeper. All right, so now I'm going to have to get rid of that somehow, meaning I need to get my... What's it called? Hullbreaker Horror. I need Hullbreaker Horror. That's it. Well, I want Hullbreaker Horror. It's not a need, it's a want. We're going to call it a need. I need Hullbreaker Horror. I need it. That's, It's not quite fact that I need it. I'm going to drain some mana from Koth's hand. Probably a mistake, but I'm going to be drawing cards here for this, and I get my Hullbreaker Horror, which is good. Unfortunately, Koth is going to do this, and I don't like that. But it's not the end of the world, because my dragon is going to go ahead and kill that Gatekeeper as well, but I still want to be able to get rid of my opponent's stuff. So let's see. All right, let's see what Teferi gives us. Teferi. Ooh, you give us a Hullbreaker Horror with mana. Yes, please. Come on up. Join the party. So unfortunately here, I don't have a lot of extra swaps going right at this precise moment. So that also means that by not having all the extra swaps going right now, I'm not actively generating as much mana and loyalty as I would like. So this deck really functions at its best when you're... That was about to be the dumbest thing I ever said. I was about to say it functions at its best when you're generating loyalty and mana. But, like, let's be real. What deck doesn't function at its best when you're not generating loyalty and mana? Oh, man. You know you're tired when. Okay. Anyways, we're going to get a Time Walk down here. And we're going to get the Hullbreaker Horror. And then we'll focus on getting the spells down after that. And then Koth is... This game is over. Let's just call this for what it is. This game is over. Like, this deck is absolute, like... butts. It's butts. I'm going to use the Seagate Restoration here to actually gain mana. To gain loyalty, because loyalty is going to do way more for me than anything else here. So let's Temporal Mastery to bounce something here. And then as we, of course, get the crazy swap. I definitely... Yeah, I feel that very strongly, Hamma Jamma. And I think, like, that's the thing. Like, I get that from a lot of players that, like, it's just a really accessible game. Like, you can pick up and play it. You're dropping your kids off at the pool. You can play Puzzle Quest. You're taking a break from work. It's your lunch break. You can play Puzzle Quest. Like, you take a smoke break, even if you don't smoke. You're just taking the break. You can play Puzzle Quest. You're sent to the principal's office in class. You're waiting out there in the waiting room. You can play Puzzle Quest. So it's just a really easy game to pick up and play. And you're probably gonna win. So like everything about Puzzle Quest, apart from the card grind, is very accessible. So very easy to pick up, very easy to play. PvP is very much not that. Like, PvP is a very much slower process. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't have PvP. Like, I think it should have PvP. It's a fantastic thing. It's gonna get a wider variety of players. But I also think that the Puzzle Quest system is a good system. I never use double entendres, guys. I would not do that. Ever. For sure. Never. I am an appropriate good boy. No double entendres. The one downside to this deck, as we reach the somewhat conclusion of our final match with it, is that you do not kill your opponent quickly at all. This, if you're looking for a speed deck, this is not it. If you want a speed deck or some other speed service, you're probably better off on Tinder than the Puzzle Quest with this game, because this is gonna be the slow grind right here. So yeah, this isn't gonna be the quick grind. This is gonna be the slow grind. But you're gonna win, and you're gonna get a lot of swaps, and you're gonna get some good giggles out. At least I hope you are, because all the extra swaps and the time bubbles and all of that are just cancerous. This is just stupid. Look at this, like Koth gets mana, but like there you go, guys. If that's beautiful. I'm a monster as a human being, which is maybe part of why I find that so beautiful, but I definitely find that beautiful. So now here the grand goal is actually going to be for Koth to use his first. If Koth uses his first ability here, then Koth is capital S screwed, because Koth has mana in his hand, and bad things are going to happen to that card with mana in his hand, as I have all the swaps in the world right now. Okay, let's just keep getting more swaps, because this is what the world needs. And I've got a Teferi with 19 shields. I have no reason to use the third ability on Teferi over there. This is going to destroy one time bubble, but it's going to make two more. Yeah, that's good. And now, of course, that card costs so much mana that the only way that Koth is going to be able to play it is going to be for Koth to use his first, but if he uses his first, then he's gonna lose the card. So let's see what Koth does. I very much do not want to destroy any of my time bubbles here. So let's see what Koth is gonna do. Is Koth gonna use his first? No. Well, Koth is doomed. Because he's gonna lose that card. He's gonna lose the other card because he's cascading, which is bad. He's gonna lose the other card because he's cascading. So we just got rid of 3 cards in a row. Oh man, this is just wrong. Like, it's just so wrong. I love it. Oh boy, this is the good stuff. I'm telling you, it's so stupid. All right, let's take the cake home here, right? We're gonna make some little flying birdie tokens, and as the game is trying to kill itself right now, it is not doing well. I don't know if it's choppy for you guys, but at least on my screen, like it's like it's not doing well. The game does not approve of this deck, like, at all. I forgot to see how many extra swaps. Did anyone in chat see how many extra swaps that was? Does it say in the battle log? Not quit. Battle log. Gained extra swap times 2. Okay. So we'll just say 1 extra swap. Extra swap? Yeah, okay, 1 extra swap. Okay, I think that's the end of Koth. Let's see, is there a way for me to not destroy more of these? Koth is so sad right now. Like, it's just, this is the thing about this Teferi. This Teferi is so good. Like, the more that I use this thing, the more that I'm like, why? Like, you just spam his first ability. Yeah, nope. And if you have other stuff that's gonna pull the same shenanigans, then your opponent is just, like, the lockdown for this is just crazy. But yeah, this is just to showcase, like, if you have all of the cards that give you all the extra swaps, like, this Teferi with that mana and that loyalty just shouldn't happen. Because if you're using that first ability every turn, your opponent just can't do anything. And if they get a bunch of cascades, that's actually really unlucky. Because as you saw with Koth, the first match is going to make them lose a card, but then they gain the mana. And then it cascades into another match, which is going to make them lose the card and gain mana. And then it goes into another match, which is going to make them lose the card and then gain the mana. It's bad. Like, once you get set up, there's no control like this in the game, I'm telling you. It's wonderful. and terrible at the same time. I mean, I suppose that like Test of Talents against a wizard class deck would be a more extreme version of control than this, but yeah, yeah. Runo is fantastic. Runo plus Hullbreaker is fantastic and beautiful, like absolutely amazing. Yeah, so that was really my goal for tonight. I've been playing with this deck a lot, and I'm going to show it on the screen again. I've been really enjoying this deck, a lot. I know I've used a lot. I'm just really tired, like really tired. But the reason I've been enjoying this deck so much is it gave me a chance to. Used to play Jace. Used to play Jace is just this versus Jace, not fair at all. Am I suggesting that seed gems are more terrible than this? Well, here, you know what? Let's do a spoiler. Ready? If you don't want something spoiled, then go hide under a rock or something, and I won't spoil it. By spoil, I mean, it's not gonna spoil very much. I'll show you guys the Nissa deck that I was running. You might have run into it in training grounds. I'm not gonna play it. I'm just gonna show you why seed gems are ridiculous. So, here's the thing. We've got this passive that says when you make a 4 or 5 match by swap, seed 2 gems. More importantly, when you destroy a seed gem, seed 2 gems. This effect can only trigger once per turn. So when you match a seed gem, you're going to get more seed gems. And the seed gems themselves are going to give you... Fine. Oh, this was my bad deck. Hold up. The seed gems themselves are going to say that when they're destroyed, you gain 1 mana for each creature you control, including their reinforcements. But here's the deal. When a seed gem is destroyed, gain mana for each creature, including the is destroyed. It doesn't matter if you destroy it. It doesn't matter if your opponent destroys it. You make the seed gems, you get all the mana. All the mana. Now, if you play seed gems with Nissa Worldwaker, as an example, right? Nissa Worldwaker's first ability is going to be making 4 tokens. Every single time you do it. But like if you're running something like Phylath, which is going to make, I don't know, like 15 tokens, easy peasy, lemon squeezy style, every one of those seed gems that you're going to have on the battlefield is going to give you 15 mana from the bonus from the seed gem, plus the mana that you're getting from the gem itself. So let's say a minimum of 7, because you're going to have +4 to green if you're playing a green deck, right? Because Renin 6, Garruk, Nissa Worldwaker, New Nissa, they all have the same amount, right? They're all at minimum of +4. So you're looking at 22 mana for every seed gem that gets popped, right? And then like the thing is like the first time here's the deal, right? The very first match that I played with seed gems, as I try and spread the seed over here, I was using Oracle of Moldiah. I actually wound up pulling this as one of the green packs with Nissa. And so this one says, when you make a green match, if it wasn't by swap seed a gem, let me tell you all, this here was just absolute, like, butts. Because green conversion counts as a match that's not a swap. Just from my lands converting gems, I kid you not, I calculated it after the match. I gained 276 mana from having 2 or maybe 3 lands on the battlefield that converted 2 to 3 gems to green. 276 mana from 2 lands, maybe 3, converting 2 or 3 gems to green. So I converted this I'm counting as one of them, right? So let's just pretend for a moment I converted 8 gems. I converted 8 gems to green and got 276 mana for converting 8 gems to green. And that was like, but that was consistent, like in all of my matches, because you just get so much mana. So Nissa Vital Energy is just absolutely fantastic as well, because you're creating all these elemental tokens. And these elemental tokens are deceptive because you might think that they're going to be 2/2s. No, they're 5/5s. You get a 25/25 for using this ability. And then there's the whole leyline thing, which is, like, excuse me, what? Which is going to make it so that your critters that all have elemental, or a leyline, I should say, just get wind up buffed. Like, you get so much mana. Like, and here's the big thing about seed gems, right? Here's even the biggest thing. Like, that isn't even all of it, right? So if we go to Puzzle Masters, and I'm just going to go ahead and do blue and green and show all cards, right? Because this is the comparison that I'm talking about, yeah? So we've got Paradox Haze, which is just absolutely correct. This thing is busted beyond belief, but it breaks really easily. We've got Time Walk, which is busted beyond belief, but it breaks really easily. And when you need other cards to make it work. It's not just good on its own. You can't just throw Paradox Haze or Time Walk into any deck. But now that we've got a basic understanding of Seed Gems, I want you to take a look at this card real fast right here. Because the thing about the Moxes that kind of sucks is that you probably need to get every single card in the set before you get the Mox. Like, maybe you'll get it as your second to last card. Maybe you're someone who's absolutely blessed by RNGesus. But, like, most likely, you aren't going to be able to get the Masterpiece until you've gotten everything else. So if you're just, like, an everyday player that is like, I don't have everything, it's going to take you a lot of investment to get a Mox. Whereas getting the Mythics from these sets is not as hard at all. Look at this card right here and tell me that this thing is not cracked. So this is a land. I don't have it yet, but when I do get it, when this set comes out, I'm absolutely going to be streaming this because you're just going to see me laughing my bums off, right? I just said bums. If I had more than one bum, I'd have a legit problem. I don't have that problem, but whatever. I haven't been to Chernobyl. Anywho, when you cast this card, destroy a Seed Gem. Okay, if there's a Seed Gem out on the battlefield, you're going to get, like, cracked mana. If you can't, just seed 2 gems. So right there, you play this land, you get 2 Seed Gems. At the beginning of your turn, convert 3 to green. When you make a green match, if it isn't by swap, seed a gem. Basically, this thing converts gems. It's not going to be a swap. It's going to be a match. It's going to seed gems. If you play more of these Dryad Arbors and reinforce it, you're going to destroy those gems. And then that's going to be destroying the seeded gems. This card is going to be, like, I'm just saying it. I haven't played with it, but this is going to be, I think, the most broken card in Standard. The level of mana that you're going to be getting from this card right here because of the seed gems, like, you're going to find yourself getting hundreds of mana per turn. Like, you can play with, like, Tarask and be like, oh, the Tarask is a caustic caterpillar for mana because why not? You know? Like, yeah, I did. But, like, this basically turns Tarask into a caustic caterpillar. Like, so the really cool thing, the reason why I'm saying, like, I think that you should maybe consider, I'm not saying you have to, I'm saying you should consider saving up for the green, is because with blue, yeah, you want Time Walk. Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, you want Paradox Haze, for sure. Like, you want the Mox Sapphire. Yeah, I'm sure you do. Like, I mean, but the Mox Sapphire feels kind of pointless, honestly. I'm not really using it. The blue has so much conversion right now, it's not fair. You're probably not going to use Mox Emerald. Like, let's be real. Like, there's no reason to use this card. Green does not need this. Green is the color that needs this the least. But what did green absolutely not need? This. Right here. Like, what the hell? I mean, you put this in Nissa Worldwaker and what? Well, seriously, what? Like, you just spam your first ability. Your first ability is no longer going to be, like, that convert 6 and create 4 tokens. It's going to be like, you play this, and exactly, you play your whole hand, Charles. Like, it's just like, what the devil? So, anyways, that was just my 5-second piece. That wasn't actually 5 seconds, on why I would suggest saving up for green so that you can get this thing right here. So ridiculous. So ridiculous. Oh, man. This person, this couple that's making out in the background over here, this is everyone in Puzzle Quest because they don't know what pleasure they're about to have. They're just, like, in the background. They don't know what's coming. This is coming. No entendre intended there. Like, it's just this card is insane. So, all right, that was a little bit more than I meant to go over for tonight. I just wanted to go over that swap deck. Swap deck's super cool. I would strongly advise picking up those cards at some point. They're perma-standard. They will always be standard. They're very fun. They're very strong. It's a lot of goodness. So, yeah, feel free if you're watching this as a video, as I know that most of the people who watch my streams don't watch them live. They watch them as videos. So go ahead and leave comments in the section about any of the questions that I asked during the stream. I'm legitimately interested to hear more people's thoughts on some of the things discussed in the stream. But yeah, so that's it from me tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, I stream every Monday, by the way. Like, if you're wondering, I stream every Monday. I try to be on at 6, but It's somewhere between 6 and 7. So if you're once again, if you're watching this as a video and you're like, oh man, I wish I could see one of Nalthazar's live streams, just comment like 6 on Mondays is when I try and stream. So yep. Now for real. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Sorry, I'm laughing at Hamajama saying I'll never see that card another way now. I'm a monster. Jeez. Six on Mondays is when I try and stream. So, yep. Now for real. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Sorry, I'm laughing at Hamajama saying I'll never see that card another way now. I'm a monster.